You say hello? Say hi, friends. We're doing Benji's 10-month update way late. I really went back and forth. I was like, you know what? This is so late that I might as well just wait and combine it. But I was like, no, you know what? I'm not gonna do that. I don't wanna do that. We're so close to getting the updates every month for a year. And that was my goal. So I decided it's just gonna be late and we're gonna do it anyways. So this shall be Benjamin's 10-month update. I'm going to try to separate the things from 10 months from the things from 11 months, since he's only a few weeks away from turning 11 months. But can you say hello? He gets this weird, I shouldn't film these out here. I do it because it's quiet and we don't have to bother the rest of the kids. But he gets this like weird demeanor out here in my office because he's just not out here much. So this is like a new space to him. And the lights are really bright over there and there's just a lot to see. So he just kind of, his personality almost changes a little bit out here, where he just kind of becomes like very cautious and like looks around sort of like, what is this place? What is this place? Because you're normally so smiley and happy, but you get a little bit weird in here, huh? It's a little bit weird in here. I just found this little leather strap for him to chew on because he obviously doesn't have all of his toys and stuff out here either. So let us dive into his 10-month update. He is again, I say this, I feel like in every update, but he is just the happiest, easiest baby ever. I don't entirely know if that's just like his personality or if that's a little bit circumstantial, if you will, being the 8th child tends to just be a little bit more easygoing. I don't know. But he's an easygoing guy, huh? You're an easygoing guy, huh? He really does not like the car for long periods of time. He will do the car usually for about 2 hours maximum. If you ask him to be in his car seat for longer than 2 hours, he revolts. He does not care for that and he gets very upset, and we usually end up having to pull over and just get him out and let him stretch his legs. And even if he doesn't have, it's not like he has a dirty diaper or anything like that, like we'll feed him. He just doesn't like being in the car for more than about 2 hours at a time. I will weigh him and I will insert it here on the screen because I don't know what he weighs at the moment. What did you drop your, oh boy. We're still a drool monster. We're still drooling a lot. Not as much. Like I don't feel like he needs to wear a bib for drool anymore. Yeah. But he is still drooling a lot. But the kid is cutting teeth like it's his job. Like someone is paying him to grow teeth. He has 4 on the bottom, 4 on the top. His canine or fang teeth have come through, and one of his back upper molars is starting to come through, but it's creating one of those, I cannot remember what they're called, but it's like a pocket that it kind of looks gnarly, like it's I hate to say this, like almost like a blood-filled pocket, and it happens when larger teeth erupt. It can happen. So it's not uncommon, but it's this very swollen part of his molar like area up here on the top left. So the other one isn't coming through, it's just this one. But he had a night the other night where he woke up and was just inconsolable in the middle of the night, which is not like him at all. If he wakes up in the middle of the night, you hand him his baba and he's right back to sleep. He was inconsolable and like angry, and we were like, what the heck is going on? And realized that he has like this pocket in his molars, so obviously his teeth are hurting him. So he's just cutting teeth like a madman, which is crazy. I feel like, I don't know, all of my kids have usually started around 6 months except for Jonah. He was the latest one. But I feel like you're so silly. You're so silly. You're just silly. You're just silly. He likes to do this where he throws himself backwards. Trust fall. Trust fall. He is not walking, which surprises me, and yet it doesn't. He's a little bow-legged. I've had 2 kids that were bow-legged, and it works itself out. Y'all might have a different term for that depending on what part of the world you're in, but it's kind of like their legs kind of bow out a little bit. Sometimes it can be a problem. Sometimes you need to see an orthopedic type doctor or whatever for it, and other times it's just It's just the way that they're built, and that will even out as they grow and get bigger and all of that stuff. He's gotten to where he's standing, where he'll let go and just stand. So are you just being a ham? Are you just being a ham bone? Yeah, a ham bone. You're a ham bony? You're a ham bony? Jabroni? Yeah. So yeah, he's not walking yet, which y'all know I like predicted when he was much younger that I thought that he was going to be like my earliest walker. I really anticipated him like walking at 8 or 9 months old, just because of how ahead of the curve he was with stuff and how much he seemed to desire to get up and get moving. Oh. This feels like an appropriate time to talk about toaster hands. This is what he's famous for. We call it toaster hands because it feels like you just got smacked in the face by a toaster. Somebody just picked up a toaster and whoosh, that's exactly what it feels like. Okay, let me pick my teeth up. Hold on. So he does not know his own strength, as you can see, and he likes to be silly, and he likes to like clap and try to like grab at your face. He just doesn't know that he is that strong that he could just cold cock you in the face. So it's not anything like aggressive or mean. He's just playing, but he will out of nowhere pop you in the face. He did it to me earlier this morning when I was talking to Ciara. You kind of just have to watch him. Oh yes, yawn. Oh yes, yawn. And he's just got these big hands, and he's so strong that he can really rip a good chunk of your hair out if he wants to. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Ooh, he likes to dance. Okay, so this is another thing. Child loves to dance. I'm scared now. He loves to dance. If he hears music, he will just start bopping wherever he is. He just kind of starts moving his little body, shaking his little hips. So yeah, he loves to dance. He gets that, comes by that honestly. All of his siblings really like to dance. They like to turn on music and dance. So I think he's picked that up from them. Here you go. Oh, you want this? Oh yes. So we are doing baby-led weaning, so he eats pretty much the same thing that we eat, as long as it's not anything too spicy or too much like, you know, marinara sauce, like a pizza or something like that. But he pretty much just eats whatever we eat, and that is my favorite part about baby-led weaning. I do buy him sometimes some of the different pouches. He loves applesauce. He loves applesauce. So I do buy him some of the fruit pouches and stuff like that, just for the ease of being able to hand him something quickly, and he does a really good job for the most part of eating those without making a big mess, which is usually my hesitation with those pouches, is I feel like they squeeze them once and it's like spouts off all this mess everywhere. He's usually pretty good about not making any kind of a mess with those. So I do get those from time to time as like a snack for him. He obviously just has his main food that he eats, breakfast, lunch, dinner with us, and then he is still drinking formula, and we will start to, usually around 11 to 12 months is when I start to cut the formula with regular milk, whatever milk we're going to transition our kids to, which we typically just use whole milk for a while. So he's giving me like the stink eye right now. So I usually start to cut their formula with regular milk to get their tummies used to it. I do that very slowly, just to watch for, you know, if it's going to bother them or anything like that. Because some kids can do dairy in different forms, and some are more intolerant to it in different ways. So I tried giving him a sippy cup with the handles so that we can transition him off of bottles. And so he did not like it. He did not like how fast the flow was on it. So I gotta see if I can find something that's a little bit slower flow. But that was, you know, my goal is, you know, somewhere between 12 and 18 months. Again, y'all listen, I get it. Some people are like super strict about the time frames of stuff that they take away from their kids and remove and all of that kind of stuff. After 8 kids, I've just learned that it's easier for everyone if we kind of do things with a general time frame in mind, but also with that child's individual needs in mind and life circumstances and stuff like that. So for example, like I'm not going to attempt to potty train my kids in the middle of some other stressful life event or something like that. So in terms of transitioning, we are getting ready to move, and so I'm not going to be taking away anything or creating any other transitions for him in terms of saying like, no, you can't have bottles anymore, you can only have sippy cups now. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give him a little bit more time because it will be a transition already for him to move to a new house. That's just how we do things. That's what works for us. So y'all know that he quit sleeping through the night. He started sleeping through the night pretty young and then quit doing it. I want to say it was around like 5 months or so, 5 or 6 months. He's still not totally sleeping through the night again, which is fine. I'm very much used to that. All of our kids, pretty much all of our kids, with the exception of 1 or 2, have not slept through the night until they were a little older. So we are fairly used to that, and it's not, he's falling asleep, and it's not the end of the world. You know, we'll sleep when we're dead, I guess, right? So also, you know, with him being my last baby, I just feel like I don't want to force him to grow up any faster. In a couple of years, I will be able to sleep through the night. Well, that's probably not true, because then my oldest will be a teenager and I'll be waiting up for her to get home and making sure that she's home on curfew. Parenthood, you know? The things that we stress and worry about and all that, it just ebbs and flows and changes. Sometimes it's, I just want to sleep through the night, and other times it's, I have to stay up and make sure that you're tucked safely in your bed. As far as talking, still just sort of the same words that he was saying before: dada, papa, sometimes he'll say mama, and he said, you know, he likes to shake his head no and laugh, and he'll wave sometimes, but he's not really saying any other words yet. Again, all of my kids were different. I've had some kids that were, you know, speaking in sentences by the time they were 18 months old, and others that, you know, were still just having a handful of words at that point. So we'll see. It's so interesting with a large family because you have so many older siblings to speak for you. Not just speak for you, but we've seen this with the twins, with our older 2 daughters being very, very attached to them from the moment they were born, basically, that, you know, their speech took a little bit longer to develop because all they had to do was grunt, and one of their sisters would jump to solve the problem. There wasn't a need to say, I need help. It was just, and then a sister would jump up to help them. And so that's kind of the same situation with him when you're the youngest. And now, you know, pretty much, with the exception of the twins, all of his older siblings can help him and do things for him and, you know, pick him up or rescue him, if you will, if he's stuck in a corner or something. I don't know. You get what I'm saying, though. So he can just kind of be like, and Noah comes running, Rosie comes running, Kennedy comes running, and Amelia and Ivy do as well. But they definitely have more of like a toddler-baby relationship where it's like sometimes we love each other and we're all hugs and kisses, and other times we're fighting over toys and he's whacking them and they're whacking him, and it's just back and forth. You could do this, you know. Look at him sleeping. I think this is officially the first time he's ever, other than like his 1 month update, that he's ever slept in one of his updates. So that's surprising. It's kind of early in the day, bud. It's kind of early in the day. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to update on with him for 10 months. I kept putting off buying him another bigger car seat, and I'm just gonna bite the bullet and do it. I think I'm gonna get the same one. It's a struggle because of the setup of our car. Obviously, you know, we have a giant Mama Jamma van that seats 12, but the seating arrangement with toddlers and babies and rear facing and forward facing and all of that, you have to find where the latches are and everything in the car. It's not, every seat isn't the same in terms of its conduciveness to being a seat where you would buckle in a car seat, if that makes sense. So I've been trying to figure out the configuration that will work best, and if I'm going to move him into a convertible car seat, one that will fit well, because kids have to be able to get underneath it and around it to get to their seats, unless you put him all the way by the window. And then if you put him all by the window, then someone has to crawl all the way in to get to him by the window. It makes me envious of, my sister just got the Transit. We have a Nissan Envy, and my sister just got the mid-roof Transit, and you can walk, like fully upright walk between the seats down to the back row. And I'm like, oh, that's got to be so handy for getting little ones in and out of car seats. I need to do a little bit of research and figure out what car seat I want to use for him, which convertible car seat I want to get him that's rear facing, because we kind of made this mistake with the twins of buying them one that was really small and compact, because we figured that would be easier for kids to get around and stuff. But then, I mean, it really quickly felt like they were growing out of it. And obviously they weren't, not weight-wise or whatever, but it just didn't seem, they were uncomfortable in it until we moved them to, we ended up doing the Graco Forever, I believe is what the seats are. So it's literally the only seat they'll ever need, technically. And so that's kind of what we'd like to do for him, because we really like those seats, but they are larger. And so I just need to figure out where it's gonna fit best. Because what ends up happening if it's rear facing in the second row, then the driver and passenger have to move their seats so far forward that you have, I already have no leg room as a passenger. Like if I'm in the passenger seat, I have about this much space, not even, between my knees and the dashboard. And I mean, I'm an average height, I guess tall for a woman, but I'm 5'8", and so my legs just, it's uncomfortable. And so if we get any bigger of a seat, then the seat's gonna have to go even farther forward, and my knees are gonna be up in my chin, which isn't exactly safe either. So a whole lot to think about and figure out with a car seat, but hopefully by his next update I'll have figured that out. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this update. He has crashed on me, so I'm gonna go lay him down so he can get a little nap in, and I'll try to weigh him when he wakes up so I can insert it in the video here. But that is gonna be it for little Benjamin's 10-month update. I'm super excited to do his 11-month update, and then I think for his 12-month update, we should be in our new house. So I'm excited for him to have his first birthday in the new house, if all goes as planned. So that is it, y'all, for today's video. I will see you guys again very soon. Normally we have this cute little goodbye session at the end where he smiles and giggles at you guys and it's all cutesy, but that's obviously not gonna happen now. So let's do a little close-up of sleeping baby.